The most disgusting counter against white's e4. Checkmate in about 11 moves and has so many aggressive traps. The most popular move is e4 in this position. Opening is by going e5, the most popular response. Now, they will go f3. And believe me, that is the most popular move. We are gonna go knight to c6 and that is going to protect our pawn from this attack. And meanwhile, this is gonna later on aggressively, if they go bishop to c4, most of people again do. Pawn to f5 is the Rusio gambit. And this is the most disgusting gambit I have ever seen. Because first of all, if they take the pawn, we are gonna push the pawn on e4. They cannot go forward. They cannot move their knight forward because of the knight and the queen over here. So they have to go back. We don't even have to move it. The queen can just go h5 and attack our king. But if you want to go for the safe option instead, knight to f6 is the good move. Knight to f6 over here maintains development while also maintaining this pawn to d3 move, and after that we will just kick out the bishop and most likely the bishop will pin the knight for some purpose. Do we worry about that? Honestly, no. We just take a pawn and protect the pawn. In this position, most likely black will win because of development, and that is the safe op. But if you're in this channel for long enough, you know I don't like safe positions, and instead we're gonna go for the aggressive ones. So we're gonna bring out the big guns. Pawn to d5 attacks the bishop on c4. First, the most crucial is that if they attack, we have to go king to e7. The best option to avoid this check is actually going to e7. When they finally go back bishop to b3, we will turn the tables by starting off with knight to f6. This attacks the queen on h5, and now the queen on h5 has to go g5, still maintaining this guard on the pawn. This is so disgusting because now we can attack the queen again. And if they go escape, we can still go knight to d4. Now we're threatening this fork. Meanwhile, also trying to attack this pawn right here. More pressure. They have to protect it with pawn to g4. We will go bishop to d7. And this will trap the queen on g6. It doesn't really matter if they go here. We're gonna trap their queen with bishop to e8 over here. In this line, folks, what happens if they take again? The most popular response. Another line will occur after this because now queen to e2 pins the king. We cannot take the knight. So I would recommend you to unpin, and now they have to go back yet again. They cannot go anywhere forward because of our pieces, and they have to go back. Now if they go back, we will go knight to f6. First of all, protecting these squares from checking us. d3, but it's such a blunder that it gives us 3 points of advantage because knight to d4 is a move which attacks the queen and threatens a fork. It doesn't really matter if they go and protect that pawn with a queen, because what will happen is knight takes c2, and if they take, we are gonna go pawn to d3, discover check, attacking the queen. This is a check attacking the queen, and the queen goes bye-bye. And so they have to move the king or cover it with a bishop, and so it doesn't really matter, and we take the queen on c2. Now, they might go knight to d4. Kind of a gambit for them. Because first of all, if you take the knight, this is a big blunder. What will happen is you allow queen to h5. This is a check to the king on e8, and so that we need to cover. There's no escape from this because if they take, we will go knight to f6 and that will attack the queen. But it's pointless. They are gonna go pawn to g7 and this is a check to the king on e8 and they're gonna queen. And they're gonna disgustingly take our rook on h8 and get a queen. Instead, what I recommend you to do, knight to f6, cunningly has some traps. If we go knight to f6, they might take our knight. That's alright, that's fine because we take back. And nothing really happens. Nothing really happens except that they cash. Now we are gonna go pawn to d5, attack their bishop, avalanche them. Now we got this very, very big pawn center. We will go and take with the bishop on f5. And now we are up in development. And now we have this suddenly big center. Now there is another line. This is the second most popular line. Pawn to d3. Not really necessary, but it's also aggressive, and it's good to know because bishop to c5 here is a move, attacks the pawn on f2. If they go knight to g5, trying to forecast because of this bishop, well, fear not because we have more of a devastating blow. Knight to f7, forking our rook and our queen. We just move the queen, So they have to castle. If they castle, we will go knight to f6 and sack our own rook. If we sack our own rook, it's game over for them. Because first of all, if we go knight to g4, it's literally an avalanche of pieces for h3, not knowing what to do. They already are roasted. Knight takes f2. Because if they do this, well, it's already mate in 2. Knight to h3, going here. And the knight does one more move, which is like a dance. Knight to g5 is freaking mate. What? Knight to f2 is still a move. So they have to take the knight. We are gonna take the rook on f2. And something finally comes forward. It's because there's no way on stopping this mate. Because a deadly pawn on f3 will try to target this pawn on g2. And if they first take it with a queen, oh my gosh, this is already mate. And now the only option is to take. And that in of itself is trapped a king. We're gonna strike the center with pawn to d5. That opens up our bishop. Now they have to take again the pawn on d5 because they will be taken. We will go and take the pawn on h3. And you see what will happen here is this is an unstoppable mate in 4 at best. This line has more lines in it because they can go pawn to f5 and this will happen and we will go pawn to d5. That attacks the bishop on c4. Now what will happen there is that if they go bishop to b5, pin our own knight, well folks, let them. Because what will happen is that knight to e7, knight takes e5, we castle calmly. And that is so disgusting because we're just letting our opponent creep in here. Well, we're just calmly castling on this side of the board. And watch this how affects white. Because if they go knight takes c6, we can just take the knight and they are attacked. They can just go back. Suddenly, bishop to f2 is check. This bishop sacrifice is king takes. Knight to f5 is just losing for white. Black has 3+ point advantage according to the computer. Actually, they could go queen to f3 instead. Trying to guard our attack from checkmate to guard the pawn on f2. Not to worry, pawn to d5 attacks the bishop. They might take the pawn on d5. We are actually gonna go for the same approach, and this attacks the queen and attacks the pawn on c2. Now they might go back and try to defend, and as you can see, the resemblance is that it's the same, but the king is not castled. So how are we gonna do this? So we are gonna go bishop to g4. So instead of the knight going here, it's a bishop attacking the queen. And this is coming afterwards when we open up with the knight. And most likely in this position, you're gonna win by 3+ points according to computer if you play this right. This line has another move, pawn to g3. And believe it or not, that defends the pawn on f2 finally. But we're gonna go h3. And instead if they take the rook on g8, pawn to d5 is another move yet again. And if they take the pawn on d5, they're most likely gonna be chopped to death by this bishop on g4. Because now, f3 might happen. We take that pawn on g3. And so if they take back our bishop, there's no going back from this. So instead, they have to go here. If they even take the knight, we will take back normally. Now if they go here and move the queen, we will go queen to g2. Sneak in the queen and attack the rook on h1. They go rook to f1. We will go bishop to h3. Pinning the rook more. I mean, pressuring the rook more. Now, this will happen. And we will go pawn to f3. The pawn on f3, if they go here, that is mate. If they go over here, this is mate in 4. And if they go over here, well, folks, it's literally just plus 17 points according to the computer. It's ridiculous. We will just take the rook and it's mate in freaking 11. Now, if they go over here, that is the best move actually. Surprisingly, because we are just gonna take the queen. And honestly, This is the best and disgusting position to have as black, because you're not only taking the queen, you're threatening the rook next, and this knight is trapped. And believe it or not, this is close to even mating. The next move I want to discuss is this. The best way to counter the RARE Gambit is this move. But do they know what they actually doing? We can do pawn takes e4. Finally, the more aggressive. Because once they do take on e5, that is very dangerous for them, because pawn to d5 over here attack the bishop. Yet again, allowing this. Because now if they check, well, pawn to g6 a blunder? Well, not really. They go back. We will go take the knight. And that is just a free knight over there. Because once they take a rook, well, we will go king to f7. And this is nothing. Because if they go back, the devastation, bishop to b4. They have to go here. And we will just take the queen on h8. What? No, we cannot just stop there, right? Because there is another line. If you want to do to literally just want to clap your opponents to freaking death. Because bishop to b3, knight to f5, we go here. We attack the knight to g6, and this is attacking the queen. They have to go, so we will take it. And for some reason, we just get a free knight in the more disgusting way. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and like if you want me to motivate to make more videos like this. And yeah, that's it. See you guys in the next video. Peace out. And I know I've been uploading a lot. Yeah, because of exam in school and yeah, visitors. See you guys in the next video. Peace out.